At approximately 10:25 this morning, the Edmonton Police Service received reports of shots fired at City Hall. Within minutes, officers arrived and took one adult male into custody. The event has since concluded, and I would like to reassure the public that we believe this individual acted alone. There is no indication that there were accomplices, and there are no further concerns for public safety. To be clear, there are no further concerns for public safety. As the investigation is still in the preliminary stages, we are limited to what information we can share. I would like to make it clear that we cannot speculate at this time on the individual's motive. We must let the investigation take its course. But here are the details that I can share at this point. The suspect entered City Hall through the parkade. He then proceeded through City Hall with a firearm, firing multiple shots and shattering glass within the building. In addition to the firearm, the suspect was heavily armed with several handled incendiary devices, which we believe to be Molotov cocktails, causing one small fire outside of an elevator. EPS members and City Hall security responded within minutes, putting the building on lockdown and determined the suspect. It is also worth noting that it's an unarmed commissionaire that initially detained this individual. His actions were above and beyond, and for that we are grateful, while the officers got there within mere minutes. Officers, including EPS Tactical and Bomb Unit, cleared City Hall to confirm there were no injuries or casualties. Again, to confirm there were no injuries or casualties. And then evacuating individuals as it was safe to do so, and confirming that no further explosive devices or suspects remained at City Hall. I'd like to take a moment to express my appreciation for City Hall security, who assisted us with today's lockdown. I'd also like to give a big thank you to our officers, the first responders who are on scene, serving and protect the public, again, within mere minutes. They did exceptional work today, and I am grateful that their quick action prevented further escalation or potential tragedy. We are incredibly lucky today that there are no reported injuries and no lives have been lost. But that being said, I don't want to minimize the impacts this has for those who were present at City Hall today, including a class of grade 1 students. Active shooter events like this have lasting effects on our community, and in the days that come, we'll be working closely with our partners to navigate that. Finally, I'd like to thank our RCMP partners who assisted us with today's event. I'd like to thank you for being here, and I'm certainly now prepared to take questions.
Can I just pass the microphone around to the... Yeah, sure.
Did the person you arrested, did he make any kind of statement or shout anything or say anything?
Early days, but we are going to investigate this from all angles. We should have something out that in the very near future as our officers put that together.
Chief, I saw the gun. It was extremely large. Can you talk about what kind of gun it was and where he may have gotten it from?
Yeah, no, we don't have the details of where he got it from at this point in time, but as you know, we will track that back and we'll work obviously with our ballistics unit and some of the things that we can do in relation to that. It was, a gun that could fire multiple rounds quickly. Again, I don't know the classification as of yet, but again, early days, and that will certainly come out in the coming days. And again, as you're aware from other events, we will do what we can to trace that firearm to where it came from.
I also saw the shooter. He was wearing a black security jacket on the second floor of City Hall. He took it off and he was wearing a blue shirt. That he appeared to be a security officer. Was he a security officer, or has he ever been a city, some sort of employee?
Not confirmed as of yet, so I think it's too early to tell. Certainly there was a black jacket. We're obviously going to look into if that was his own or if that came from somewhere. So again, those are all things that we will be looking at.
Hi, Chief. Was he shooting at people or was he shooting randomly?
It appears shooting randomly at this point in time, but obviously, as I mentioned, we can't really talk about motive. We will obviously be doing lots of interviews in the coming days to see if there's people in the close proximity or what exactly transpired. Again, the good part is he's in custody in a controlled environment, so we will be able to do those interviews.
And what was RCMP's involvement? Was it to help with the incendiaries?
They're a close partner of ours. Anytime that we have an event, obviously they've got an office in the city of Edmonton, and an event like this is we're going to investigate it in all different angles, right from the worst possible case scenario to obviously just somebody coming in with a gun. So we will look at all angles, and they're our partners in that.
Is there any indication that he was aware there was a meeting going on at the time and if the mayor was in the building?
Again, no indication. Those interviews are obviously still to come. And those are questions that you've asked that we will be asking the individual and obviously other people within the building that may have witnessed something.
I know you don't have a specific class for the weapon, but are we talking handgun, rifle? What are we talking?
No, it's a long gun. We will actually look at that to see what type, and in the coming days, we'll get that information out.
Was this person someone who's been to City Hall to cause a disturbance before? I know, like, I've seen people come in making a scene, yelling at the mayor, doing aggressive things. Was this someone who has done that before? Do we know?
No indication yet of that, Lauren, but again, those are things that we're obviously going to be looking at in the coming days as well, but no indication as of yet.
Chief, can we just go back on the commissioner detaining and disarming the men? Do you have a bit more information about that, how that occurred?
Just basically, the individual acted obviously to detain the person. I'm not sure if it was a tackle or what it was. Again, we do know that he went above and beyond his job in relation to helping minimize the impact, and for that we're grateful. And keep in mind, obviously he had the assistance very, very quickly of our officers. Thankfully, everybody was in there within mere minutes, really, really quick.
Just also a number question. Do you have, on top of your head, the number of people that were evacuated?
No, I don't, sorry. We can get you that number, though.
Can you tell us where the grade 3 class was?
I don't know that. Again, that's probably something that we can figure out. I'm assuming they probably may have been in chambers, but that would be speculation, so I can't say for sure.
Can you just, for those of us who aren't familiar with the City Hall layout, where was this event in relation to the City Hall Council chamber?
We believe indications are where most of the stuff happened was on the second floor, but as I said, we do know that this individual came up for the parkade, so we're obviously working to backtrack everywhere this individual went. Jeremy?
This is nitpicky, but when you say second floor, do you mean like the actual second floor, or there's like a mezzanine level also in there?
Yeah, I guess, as you walk up the steps in that particular area, I think that's second floor, but yeah.
And just again, back to the commissioner's guard, apprehended, did you say disarmed as well?
I didn't say that, no.
Okay.
No, I didn't say that. Let's not go too far and do that. But I will say any actions this individual took obviously had great impact on the outcome, and we're grateful for that.
Following up on Lauren's question, was this person known to police at all previously?
Again, early days, just as Lauren had asked there too, those are things that we're going to figure out and in the days to come, and obviously that'll help aid our investigation pending on what that answer is.
Can you share their age or any information on charges pending?
I don't even have it. There will be several charges coming out of this. As I said, we're not going to release a name or anything, but he'll be going to court fairly soon, so you'll get all that information in a timely manner once it's processed.
Going into the city council meetings, so into chambers, as you know, and then into the River Valley room, there are metal detectors. Obviously, he was in an area where there are not metal detectors. I wonder whether, what your perspective is on, this is a public building, though obviously safety was at risk today. Can you speak to any measures that may need to change, or?
It's easy to live in hindsight. I think, though, from our perspective, anytime you have a major event like this, it always makes you review your practices. Obviously, we're not in charge of security there. I would almost be certain that they would be doing that. And, if requested, we would certainly welcome to be a part of that. But anytime you have an incident like this, it's general practice to actually review all practices.
Chief, as you said, early days, but do you have any sense on what degree of pre-planning would go into something like this?
No, again, that's speculation. Keith, I think what Will can say, though, is obviously heavily armed means that some thought went into it. But again, to what level, we don't know that at this time.
I have the mic here. Was there any other questions?
Just some details. Has the car been finally searched? Is the parkade completely cleared now?
The building is completely cleared, yes. I'm not exactly sure what vehicles have been searched, if any vehicles, but I know that they were pretty thorough right throughout, top to down of the building.
Thank you.
You know, that's a decision they'll make. What I can say is the building's been rendered safe, so at this point in time, that there's no longer a threat in that particular building, but those decisions aren't made by us.
Is it your understanding that the suspect walked into the parkade or drove into the parkade?
Again, I don't know that exact details, but I know he came up from the parkade.
Okay, and just surely there's plenty of security camera viz around, hey?
Absolutely. We'll be reviewing lots of video cameras and video in the coming days to actually follow those patterns and track exactly what happened and hopefully determine what parts of the building this particular individual was in.
How much of a challenge did the underground pedways lead to as far as making sure they were all secure?
You know, there's no indication that the pedways are included in this. I mean, I think it's always something that you pay attention to, and I know with the enhanced security that we've put into transit and the pedways are part of that between us and the CSOs and others. So, I mean, it's always something you're trying to work on security, but again, an event like this always kind of makes you double check and see what else you can do.
Any more questions?
Can you describe a bit more about, you said he had a vest, he had something in his vest, can you describe a bit more about what he had on him?
Yeah, I didn't say that he had a vest on, but I can just say that what he had in relation to weapon, what he had in relation to Molotov cocktails, this particular individual is what I would classify as heavily armed.
Any further questions? Okay, thanks, folks. We'll have
Thank
more
you very
questions.
much, you guys, and I appreciate you on short notice coming in. And I think the only thing I really want to emphasize with you is, you know, right now, there is no further safety concern from this particular incident, and I think we need to stress that with our people because we have lots of phone calls coming in. And in a large part, it's due to the actions of not just police, fire, and everybody that responded, the commissioner, our community safety officers, our TPOs, and thankfully when something bad happens that we come together quickly and resolve the situation without further incident. So thank you for that.
One more, Chief, sorry.
Oh,
We're hearing,
I should have talked to you
I
longer.
know,
Yeah.
sorry. I've heard from a couple city councilors who say that they've been told not to speak on this subject. Is that something you directed?
I don't direct that, but if they don't know anything, it's always a good mechanism not to speak if you're just,
In the room with you,
yeah. But what did you know?
that they would shoot.
Right. But, so I mean, yeah, no, we haven't told anybody anything, but I think before people speak, it's important that you know what you're speaking of. And a lot of good work from a lot of men and women went today, and I certainly think that there's no rooms for politics in this particular thing. This is a criminal event, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Thank you.